Right? Okay. Did you finish that out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the Most High plagued them. Now let's go to Exodus chapter 33. And we'll kind of expedite this a little bit. We're not going to do as much reading because I want to point some stuff out and we want to put this baby to bed. Okay. Exodus chapter 33, the next chapter. And let's read. Let's start at verse 12. We're going to read verse 12 through verse 19.
And Moses said unto Yah, See, thou sayest unto me, Bring up this people, and thou hast not let me know whom thou wilt send with me. Yet thou hast said, I know thee by name, and thou hast also found grace in my sight.
Thou hast did what?
Found grace in my sight.
So Moses found grace. This is what the Most High said now. Read that one more time. Somebody don't believe.
And Moses said unto Yah, See, thou sayest unto me, Bring up this people, and thou hast not let me know whom thou wilt send with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yet thou hast said, I know thee by name, and thou hast also found grace in my sight.
See that? Moshe found grace. Didn't know that was in there, did you? See, we know Noah found grace, but now here we see the prophet found grace. All right, go ahead, continue.
Now therefore I pray thee, if I have found grace in thy sight, show me now thy way, that I may know thee, and that I may find grace in thy sight, and consider that this nation is thy people.
See that? Now he's asking, okay, if I found grace, I want you to do something to show me that I found grace. Watch what happens here.
And he said, My presence shall go with thee, and I will give thee rest. And he said unto him, If thy presence go not with me, carry us not up hence. For wherein shall it be known here that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight? Is it not in that thou goest with us? So shall we be separated, I and thy people, from all the people that are upon the face of the earth. And Yah said unto Moses, I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken, for thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name.
He said it again. You have found grace in my sight. All right, go ahead.
And he said, I beseech thee, show me thy glory. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of Yah before thee, and will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy.
Look at that. You can't get no more clear than that. So the Most High didn't show no grace in the law in the Old Testament. He showed Moshe grace. He showed the nation of Israel grace by not killing them all off. Right? And then now the prophet Moshe said, show me that I have grace with you. Right? And what did Moshe tell him? You have grace. I've given it to you. Right? So for those that say, oh, there's no grace in the law. I mean, what Bible are you reading? Read 19 again, please. One more time, please. Somebody, listen. One more time. This is we're in Exodus chapter 33 and verse,
19.
Verse 19.
And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of Yah before thee. And I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy.
See that? So the Most High said that he will be gracious in the Old Testament to whom he will be gracious to, and show mercy to whom he will show mercy to. He had it. He gave it. He demonstrated. He lived it. He didn't wipe them all off. He remembered the covenant. He spared their lives, showing them grace. Okay, go ahead.
And he said, Thou canst not see my face, for there shall no man see me and live. And Yah said, Behold, there is a place by me, and thou shalt stand upon a rock. And it shall come to pass, while my glory passeth by, that I will put thee in a cleft of the rock, and will cover thee with my hand while I pass by. And I will take away mine hand, and thou shalt see my back parts, but my face shall not be seen.
See that? So now, repetitiously, the Most High showed his glory. Now, as I said earlier in the lesson, the glory is the manifestation of the nature of the Most High. So glory is who the Most High is, and that's what the Prophet Moshe wanted. He wanted that character of Yah, the characteristics, or the kabod, or the glory, or the manifestation of Yah in him and on him. All right, let's go to Exodus chapter 34 now. One more chapter, one more page. Same. We're going to read verse 1 through 6. All right. No, let's just okay. Let's go read 1 through 7. Exodus chapter 34, verse 1 through 7.
And Yah said unto Moses, Hold thee 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and I will write upon these tables the words that were in the first tables, which thou breakest.
See, so Moshe broke the commandments. I couldn't help but was saying something about that. He broke the commandments. That's the only time the Most High allowed him to break the commandments before judgment didn't come on him. He broke literally broke the commandments. Okay, go ahead.
And be ready in the morning, and come up in the morning unto Mount Sinai, and present thyself there to me in the top of the mount. And no man shall come up with thee. Neither let any man be seen throughout all the mount. Neither let the flocks nor herds feed before that mount. And he hewed 2 tablets of stone like unto the first. And Moses rose up early in the morning, and went up upon Mount Sinai, as Yah had commanded him, and took his hand the 2 tables of stone. And Yah descended in the cloud, and stood with him there, and proclaimed the name of Yah. And
So,
Yah...
I could stop there. I let that pass before. And I'm going to say that I'm not going to make a lesson on this. Moshe proclaimed the name of Yah. He didn't proclaim the name of the Lord. He didn't proclaim the name of Jesus or Jehovah, right? Jehovah is a bastardized, get this straight now, is a bastardized substitution of the Most High's name. Don't you even call the Most High Jehovah. That's a bastardized name. Get that pagan name off your lips. All right, sorry about that. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And Yah passed by before him, and proclaimed, Yah thy Elohim, merciful and gracious, long-suffering, abundant in goodness and truth.
Read that one more time.
Okay. Yah passed by before him, and proclaimed, Yah thy Elohim, merciful and gracious, long-suffering, abundant in goodness and truth.
So he was merciful and gracious. This is out of his mouth, right? He passed by and he proclaimed the name of Yah. Okay, so in the name of Yah, it says he proclaimed the name in verse 5, right? So the name is what? The name is merciful, gracious, right? Long-suffering, right? And abundant, and in goodness and truth. So the name of Yah means all of that. So when he proclaimed his name, the name that the Most High used, that he told the prophet Moses to call me by, that this is my name forever, the name is abundant, mercy, grace, right? All the above, right? The Lord don't have that in it. Because when you say Yah, you're saying the breath of the Most High. When you say Yah, you're saying the one who gives breath and life. So when the prophet Moshe went to the Most High, he said, you can't kill him because you are the life and you are the giver of life, and you can't cause death on something that you spoke life into. The miracle was what? The father, Abraham's wife, at an old age would bring forth a son who would carry on the seed, who would be the blessed seed of Abraham, and through him all the nations on the face of the planet will be blessed. That's why he proclaimed that name. That's why you got to remember that name, right? This is the name he gave the prophet Moshe. He said, this is my name forever and to all generations. Not until the King James Version gets it and translates it and substitutes it and put the Lord God and all of that in it. But he said, this is my name forever, right? Let's read that right quick. Okay, hold your finger there. Where we at?
Verse 7.
All right, read that out. Read that out. And then I'm going to show you. We're going to go to Exodus 3 and I think it's 6. Okay, go ahead.
Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children unto the third and to the fourth generation.
Look at that. There's so much power in that one verse. Look what he said. Keeping mercy. Keeping mercy. Huh? The Most High keeping mercy. Not just he had it one time. Keeping mercy. Right? For thousands. Forgiving iniquity. That's why he gave the law, to forgive iniquity, not to kill them all, but to forgive their transgressions. That's grace, brothers. You got to see it. Forgiving the iniquity and transgression and sin. So just in case you don't understand, he said iniquity, transgression, and sin. What's the difference between all three? We'll talk about that on another lesson. But the Most High forgave iniquity, transgression, and sin. And there is a difference between each three, all three, in the Hebraic. Okay? We're going to deal with that another time. All right. He says that will by no means clear the guilty, but visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, right, unto the third and to the fourth generation. Okay, go ahead, read the next verse, please.
And Moses made haste and bowed his head toward the earth and worshipped. And he said, if now I have found grace in thy sight, O Yah, let my Yah, I pray thee, go among us. For it is a stiff-necked people, and pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us for thine inheritance.
Now, okay, so Moshe is saying, okay, whew, I got a rough task here. You saying your grace is upon me, but man, you don't know these people. Like, this sounds just like the so-called African Americans, Negroes today. The more we post on Facebook, obey the command. People get upset. We're not supposed to keep that law. It's cruel. We're not under the law. We can't keep the law anyway. If you fall short of one part, you're guilty of the whole law. It's a stiff-necked people. Maisha posted on Facebook about eating the swine. Man, people dancing and squirming and trying to defend eating that crap. You are what you eat, brothers and sisters. All right, go ahead. Oh, read verse 10.
And he said, behold, I make a covenant. Before all thy people I will do marvels, such as have not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation.
Look at that.
And all the people among which thou art shall see the work of Yah, for it is a terrible thing that I will do with thee.
Go ahead. So he's making some promises. These promises are yet to be fulfilled. That's why we got to get back to the law. Okay, go ahead.
Observe thou that which I command thee this day. Behold, I drive out before thee the Amorite, the Canaanite, the Hittite, and the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite. Take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land whither thou goest, lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee.
Stop celebrating all these pagan holidays. The Israelites in today's time are still making covenants with the heathens around about us. Go ahead.
But ye shall destroy their altars, break their images, and cut down their groves. For thou shalt worship no other deity, for Yah, whose name is jealous, is a jealous El. Lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a whoring after their deities, and do sacrifice unto their deities, and one call thee, and thou eat of his sacrifice. And thou take of their daughters unto thy sons, and their daughters go a whoring after their deities, and make thy sons go a whoring after their deities. Thou shalt make thee no molten deities. The feast of unleavened bread shalt thou keep. 7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, as I commanded thee, in the time of the month of Bib. For in the month of Bib thou camest out from Egypt. All that openeth the matrix is mine, and every firstling among the cattle, whether ox or sheep, that is male. But the firstling of an ass thou shalt redeem with a lamb, and if thou redeem him not, then shalt thou break his neck. All the firstborn of thy sons thou shalt redeem, and none shall appear before me empty. 6 days thou shalt work, but on the 7th day thou shalt rest. In earing time and harvest, and thou shalt rest. And thou shalt observe the feast of weeks, of the first fruits of wheat harvest, and the feast of ingathering at the year's end. Thrice in the year shall all your men children appear before Yah thy Elohim.
See that? Now let me stop. So what did Moshe tell Moshe? He said, "This is how you will know that I have given you grace. The people who I have given are going to do this." That's why Pastor Omar and all the other Hebrew Christians that say we're not under the law, that's why the Most High said for us to go back. You can't be saved by identity. There's a great revival of Hebrew identity, which is not the covenant. Israel did not go into captivity because they forgot who they were. Israel went into captivity because we forgot who he is. And his covenant was with us. He said, do this, and because I spared your life, I am calling you to be set apart. And this is what we got to do. That's the reason why those Hebrews that say, we can't keep the feast days in the land of captivity, you out of order. Because the Most High said right here, this is how you're going to know that the grace is with you, Moshe. The people that I'm going to raise up as a remnant, this is what they're going to do. Okay, go ahead and read.
For I will cast out the nations before thee, and enlarge thy borders. Neither shall any man desire thy land, when thou shalt go up to appear before Yah thy Elohim thrice in the year. Thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leaven, neither shall the sacrifice of the feast of the Passover be left unto the morning. The first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring unto the house of Yah thy Elohim. Thou shalt not seethe a kid in his mother's milk. And Yah said unto Moses, write thou these words, for after the tenor of these words I have made a covenant with thee and with Israel.
So it's a covenant. That's the covenant. Okay, go ahead.
And he was there with the Yah 40 days and 40 nights. He did neither eat bread nor drink water. And he wrote upon the tables the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments. And it came to pass when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tables of testimony in Moses' hand, when he came down from the mount, that Moses wist not that the skin of his face shone while he talked with him. And when Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come nigh to him. And Moses called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him, and Moses talked with them. And afterward all the children of Israel came nigh, and he gave them in commandment all that Yah had spoken with him in Mount Sinai. Until Moses had done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face. But when Moses went in before Yah to speak with him, he took the veil off until he came out. And he came out and spake unto the children of Israel that which was commanded. And the children of Israel saw the face of Moses, that the skin of Moses' face shone. And Moses put the veil upon his face again until he went in to speak with him.